What's going on? Hey, Miss Dixon. Oh my God. My God, my God, my God, my God, my God. This this about to get ugly. It's about to get bad.
I was supposed to cuss. Like fools and idiots, and never really looking in the mirror and looking at themselves and saying,
A storm is coming.
made into something. So now I'm closer to God. But being closer is hard. The attacks get stronger, become much harder to fight, and they last longer. That's what it's always been. Joy with the pain, dark with the light, sun with the rain. With the right perspective, there can be something to gain.
Yo, can I with you? What?
ACT, did you see this?
Look, if it ain't official DanaJay, Levi for Kelly, or Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it. Just take the phone. Look, you got some weed? Dang, I gotta get some. All right, hurry up. Diesel and them here, everybody here, we waiting on you. All right.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking to pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking to pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking to pandemic.
Say you love me, what you gonna do now? Hope you're ready.
Yep. What's going on, y'all? I'm gonna put the call-in number up because it's an issue, and I'm pissed. First off, I'm gonna say what's up, everybody. Georgia girl, I know it wasn't no sound. I was talking to somebody else. Thank y'all for being here. How y'all doing? What's going on, y'all? But I got an issue. I got a real big issue. And it's serious for me. Very serious. So, what I want to say is all these strong people that talk about they advocate for this and advocate for this. Hold on. All right, had to take that call. Sorry about that. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm mad. So I'm gonna get this out real quick. First, I'm gonna talk about the LGBTQ plus and their crisis. I'm gonna talk about that first. Here's the first crisis. Here's their crisis. How LGBTQ plus people in the Middle East can be sentenced to jail for taking selfies. Whether you on WhatsApp, whether you on Grindr and Facebook, where once a place that gay, bisexual, and trans Arabs could find freedom. Now their digital footprints could land them behind bars. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that you cannot show yourself grouped up or coupled up and together. So is that if you taking selfies and y'all grouped up and coupled up over the Middle East, they can get you for stuff like this, you go to jail. Stuff like this, you go to jail. So they're not playing that over in the Middle East. And it's funny because WhatsApp, Facebook is the same company pretty much. So basically, if you are grouped up or huddled up or booed up in the Middle East, you go to jail for public affection. They don't play that. And not saying that I'm against the LGBTQ because I'm not, but what is the point of all that? You showing public affection for what? I mean, you can't force that on everybody. That's what you believe in. Then you keep that sugar honey iced tea where you live at. Everybody don't need to be flamboyant and out there doing it. Come on, man, really? But I'm gonna go ahead now. All these loud mouths that run on the internet talking about, I do this for my city. I do this for my city. I'm from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Chicago love kills and this and this. Today was another proof that Chicago don't give a goddamn about Robert Sylvester Kelly. Ask me how I know. Because if Chicago gave a hell about Robert Sylvester Kelly, they would not have partaken in the public lynching that they did of Robert Sylvester Kelly. And on top of that, they publicly, Chicago now, publicly destroyed this man's image over an allegation. And I'm not saying everybody in Chicago don't love Rob. I'm saying there's only pockets of people in Chicago that love Rob. But you have a man who sat back and staged a crime along with a crooked ass prosecutor, and everybody in Chicago quiet. But you jump your happy ass on the internet and want to attack people that fights for Robert. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. This is why I can't take people serious no more. I can't take people serious no more. This man get locked up for putting the city of Chicago in terror. And y'all stand by while this man get out on $150,000 signature bond. Never heard of before. Never heard of before. You got Larry Hoover, who can't even catch a break. He just got re-indicted again. You got R. Kelly, who's sitting in fucking jail for no reason over allegation. And you got the crooked prosecutor with a crooked ass, gay ass actor who just escaped. He's in jail for a couple days. This is a slap in the face of the officers that did what they had to do. This is a slap in the face of the special prosecutor that hammered Kim Fox and brought Jussie Smollet to justice. I'm going to be honest with you. I think everybody should have just walked off the goddamn job. If this how it's going to be, okay, y'all can have this. So now it's okay to send the city of Illinois or the state of Illinois into chaos over a lie. I'm just saying. But then it gets better. When I told y'all this is political, it ain't nothing else. It's political. You heard Jussie, and I wish people stop saying Jesse. He's not Jesse. Look up the surname of Jussie. It came from a white Englishman. So he might got a little drop of us, but he's not one of us. And somebody can say, oh yeah, he's spewing hate. Well, you goddamn right I'm spewing hate then. Because Robert is one of us. And I'll protect him over that fucking sissy any day. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You have a man that's sitting in jail over allegations. Some people say, how can it be allegations and he was found guilty? Okay, well, if you look at Miss Jennifer Bonjean motion, you will see he wasn't found by a competent jurors. Or should I say a competent selected group of jurors. Because I know I ain't going to get a lot of numbers on this one today, but I don't give a fuck. I'm speaking my mind. I don't even expect for this to even, I'm not even going to monetize this one. I know I ain't going to get nothing off of this one. But where's all these motherfuckers from Chicago that's out here talking about, I stand for justice. I did this on my own. I stood in the street by myself. Where the fuck you at now? You talk all that shit on the internet, but you ain't down there saying fire Kim Fox. You ain't down there saying keep Jussie Smollett locked up. It's cool when you got a lot of motherfuckers. But when you got to do shit by yourself, since you're a one-man army, since you stood in the street by yourself, where the fuck you at now by yourself? This the bullshit I'm talking about. This ain't no technicality. This ain't none of that. They specifically said, let him out. That part right there, Callie. He's been convicted on allegations. 100. Yo, Jussie Smollett. You know what? Y'all think I'm joking. Watch this. Let's read this. Here you go. Actor Jussie Smollett was sentenced to 150 days in jail on Thursday after being found guilty of faking a racist, homophobic hate crime against himself in 2019. But he has not lost the support of the Black Lives Matter movement, aka George Soros. The social justice organization publicly supported Smollet after his criminal trial started in December 2021 and reiterated its support after the actor's sentencing. Dr. Melina Abdullah, director of Black Lives Matter Grassroots and co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, told TMZ that Black Lives Matter will continue to support Smollet. On Thursday, in the character witnesses during Smollett's sentencing, a letter written to Black Lives Matter, a letter written by Black Lives Matter to Judge James Lynn called for an alternative to incarceration. Black Lives Matter stands in strong support of an alternative to incarceration sentence for Jussie Smollett. The letter stated, "We applaud your long-held practice of imposing alternative to incarceration sentences for virtually all Class 4 felonies. Such is Mr. Smollett's and encourage you to continue this practice in this case." The letter stressed Smollet not being a risk and offered other possible punishments for his crime. "We know that second chance probation, regular probation, and deferred prosecution are all options." The letter stated, "As we contemplate what creates a truly safe world, we know that Mr. Smollett's case involves no drugs, no theft, no sex, no property damage, and no physical injury to anyone other than the defendant." Hold up. So we do know that R. Kelly case offers no drugs, no theft, no sex, no property damage, no physical injury to anyone. But he got to sit in jail for 3 years. We also know that Black Lives Matter is a fucking cult. We also know, cool, y'all want to say Robert was guilty? Well, we also know now that there can be other alternative for Robert other than jail. He can get probation. He can get regular probation, a deferred prosecution of all options. Robert never been in trouble before. Never. He's been exonerated from everything else. But then it gets worse. Why nobody is condemning Jussie Smollett supporters? Everybody else condemns Robert supporters, but nobody condemns Jussie Smollett supporters. They condemn Bill Cosby supporters, but nobody condemns Jussie Smollett supporters. So what, Robert and Bill Cosby got to be fucking gay? This shit pisses me the fuck off. I'm ready to start a war. Can't nobody tell me calm the fuck down now. Because what you see is a slap in the fucking face. This man perpetrated some shit. Then they followed the money trail, and the money trail went right back to Juicy White Booty. And if the shit don't get no fucking uglier, we already know Samuel L. Jackson ass wrote something for him. But wait, guess who else? This is a slap in the face. This is a slap in the face. Taraji P. Henson, Empire actress Taraji P. Henson, called for her former TV son, Jussie Smollett, to be released from jail and compared the hate crime faker's case to that of Emmett Till. What the fuck are y'all people thinking? You comparing Jussie Smollett to Emmett Till? I think everybody should boycott everything that Taraji Henson ever played in. This is a stand-up for the gay community. And people are scared to come out against the gay community because they're afraid that they so goddamn strong, so they say, that they don't want the backlash. But Empire actress Taraji P. Henson called for her former TV son, Jussie Smollett, to be released from jail and compared the hate crime faker's case to that of Emmett Till, the black teen who was lynched in Mississippi in 1955. Henson is 51 years old, who plays Smollett's character's mother, Cookie, on Fox's acclaimed drama, shared a post on Instagram on Sunday with the hashtag #FreeJussie, as she argued that the disgraced actor be allowed to serve 150 days at home What? I am not here to debate you on his innocence, but we can agree that the punishment does not fit the crime, the Oscar-nominated star wrote. What the fuck? Emmett Till was brutally beat and ultimately murdered because of a lie, and none of the people involved with his demise spent one day in jail, even after Carolyn Bryant admitted that her claims were false. No one was hurt or killed during Jussie's ordeal, she wrote. He has already lost everything. He has already lost everything. Everything. To me, as an artist, not able to create, that in itself is punishment enough. He can't get a job, Henson continued. No one in Hollywood will hire him. And again, as an artist who loves to create, that is prison. My prayer is that he is freed and put on house arrest and probation, because in this case, that would seem fair. Please free Jussie, she added. Henson posts, which drew more than 47,000 likes, including from actors Gabrielle Union and Leslie Johnson. What the fuck do you expect? The gay community echoed letters read in court during Smollet's sentencing last week. Alfred Woodard, Samuel Jackson and his wife, LaTanya Richardson Jackson, and others vouched for the fallen star and urged Judge James Lynn not to sentence him to jail. But no one invoked the name of Emmett Till, who was brutally murdered on August 28, 1955, after being accused of offending Carolyn Bryant Donham, 21, in her family's grocery store in 1955. You know what? Well, Emmett Till's cousin, Deborah Watts, responds to Taraji P. Henson, mentioned in late teen. What did she say? Not everyone is entirely upset with actress Taraji P. Henson. The Empire star faced backlash last week after she referenced the case of Emmett Till, a black teen brutally beaten by several white men in 1955. When addressing the sentencing of her former co-star, Jussie Smollett, the actor was sentenced to 150 days behind bars for staging a hate crime against himself and lying to the police. In a social media post calling for the release of the 39-year-old, Henson argued that despite being brutally beat and ultimately murdered because of a lie, none of the men, including Roy Bryant and his half-brother John Williams, ever faced any jail time. The actress pointed out that no one was hurt or killed during Jussie's ordeal. He has already lost everything. Everything. The 51-year-old faced criticism almost immediately, with many calling her post tone deaf. Yet during a recent interview with TMZ, Till's cousin Deborah Watts, co-founded the Emmett Till Legacy Foundation, shared that she was glad Henson included Till's case in the discussion. And I do truly appreciate Taraji P. Henson sharing her passion and support for him. I mean, anyone in that situation, I think, would love encouragement and support from their friends, she told the outlet. But I also appreciate Ms. Henson connecting in and mentioning Emmett Till's murder, his lynching, because it is yet unsolved. And we are still fighting for justice after 67 years. His mother fought for justice, opening that casket up for the world to see. Watts declined to comment on whether she agreed to the fairness of Smollett's sentencing, but did agree that black people in America often tend to be punished to a greater extent than their white counterparts. What? So, Jussie Smollett ordered release from jail after serving less than a week of a 5-month sentence. Convicted felon Jussie Smollett was ordered to be released from jail on Wednesday pending appeal of his 150-day sentence that went into effect last week for staging a hate crime hoax against himself and lying to law enforcement about it. The one-page order issued by the Illinois Appellate Court on Wednesday afternoon stated that Smollet was to be released from the Cook County Jail after signing a $150,000 recognized bond, which would not require him to post any money, the Chicago Tribune reported. The only explanation offered in the order was that Smollet has never been convicted of a violent offense and would have completed his sentence of incarceration well before his appeal is decided. Smollet was sentenced to, on Thursday of last week, to 150 days in jail, followed by 30 months on probation, and ordered to pay $120,000 in restitution and $25,000 in fines during his sentence. Smollet told police on January 29, 2019 that he was attacked by two men in Chicago at 2 a.m. who he claimed made racist and homophobic slurs, wrapped a rope around his neck, and poured an unknown substance on him and yelled, "This is MAGA country." Police later obtained footage of the two men, who are brothers, in question and detained them at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. A couple of weeks later, after they returned from Nigeria, police later released the two brothers, saying that they were not suspects in the investigation. So, two things with this. All of a sudden, somebody gonna say, "This is MAGA country." Y'all think y'all slick. Shot at Donald Trump. Shot at Donald Trump. Y'all think y'all slick. Okay? But I'm going to go here. I'm slicker. Look at the people who was behind Jussie Smollett. This is why he didn't do a day. Or, I'm sorry, a week. He got the vice president, alleged, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Lori Lightfoot, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, Joanne Reed, Rashida Tlaib, Eric Swalwell, as well as Michael Obama and Barry Soreto. This is a hell of a chart to have. This is a hell of a chart to have people to stand behind you when you are wrong. You got Lori Lightfoot that's telling Native Americans that she got a bigger dick than them. You got Kamala Harris, who's making the U.S. look stupid by laughing uncontrollably. You got this actor, Joe Biden, who don't know what the fuck going on. And you got Cory Booker, who's just a straight up motherfucking sellout, because he getting dick in the ass. You got the once Muslim turned gay motherfucker. Man, look. Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all don't understand. This shit is beyond unexplainable. This is beyond unexplainable. So, Robert got to sit in jail over an allegation. Even got found guilty with the incompetent motherfucking jurors, and he got to sit over allegations. When you got this fudge packer who did what he said somebody else did to him, but he did it to himself. And he get out on bond. He put the whole city of Chicago, the whole state of Illinois, on a high terror alert for 2.5 months. But they say that he's not a flight risk. He got all them high people backing him up, but he not a flight risk. And he didn't put his community in terror. You got R. Kelly, who never did no bullshit like that. Always been a helpful person. But y'all say he's in danger to the community. R. Kelly scared to fly. He don't have all them powerful people in behind him. But you say he a flight risk. Y'all bitches ain't shit. And I said it. And I don't give a fuck. I'm not scared of the LGBTQ, elemental P, XYZ community. I'm not. And I don't care who say what. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out. Then I'm going to get up off here. Because I'm pissed. And I don't give a fuck who, and I don't care who don't like it. I think if you do the crime, you do the time. I don't care who you are. But this man had a fair trial. And Jussie Smollet. Yeah, that son of a bitch free. He had a fair trial. The man took the stand and everything. Lied to everybody and got caught. He don't do 5 days. I'm sorry. He don't do 8 days. Tomorrow would have been his 7th day. And I'm not supposed to feel some kind of way about that? For all the people that pay taxes for the Chicago and for the state of Illinois, y'all don't feel some kind of way? That's a slap in y'all fucking face. Y'all don't feel some kind of way? Y'all bloggers talk about 30 rounds. We here for Rob. Y'all wasn't in front of that fucking courthouse? I mean, because when I looked at the courthouse, right? You know what I heard in the background? I've never seen nobody go to the appellate court that quick and something go through that quick. He just got sentenced Thursday. And then went to the appellate court and turned around that quick? What the hell is You know what? This is the only thing I can think about. This shit got me hot. Chicago, I tell everybody suck my dick and get the fuck on. I just, man, this is bull crap, man. This is bull crap. There's nobody. Everybody got something to say, but nobody is looking at what's really going on. And I don't give a fuck. I'd rather stand for something than fall for anything. Nah, I don't want to hear that shit. Remind me of that shit that nigga be playing, man. Nah, man, that shit remind me of that shit that dumbass nigga be playing. I don't know. I don't think I'll never listen to playing it again. Every time I hear that shit, I'd be like, ugh! I just don't. Thank you so much, Miss Lisa. I appreciate you. Shit just make me. You know what? I appreciate you, Miss Lisa. Thank you so much.
Shooter, you shot me in the heart, and I've been dying since we've been apart. Oh, shooter, I don't think I'm gonna make it. See, I'm
just saying, I'm just pissed right now.
Hard times. Well, ooh, right. Now tell me, what do you do when you feel so confused all about your life? Struggles, they go up, man, and tears, they fall down all throughout your life. It's like me versus her, and her versus me. It's suicide. Ooh, yeah. Arguing and fussing, fighting, nobody be backing up. Everybody in it losing, man. It's like the hardest love. Oh.
You live on the DanaJay show. How can I help you?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Who is this?
Hey, listen. I got just a quick comment.
Who is this?
I'm going to take it for a second. This is Malik.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, listen. I saw the comment. I just was caught up to speed on. He got 150 days and served less than a week for 5 counts of disorderly conduct, right?
Right.
It's kind of funny because when I read the disorderly conduct, the first thing I thought of was public urination, like peeing in the street, wilding out if you're drunk at a bar, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody else had mentioned the same topic. The funny thing about the Jussie thing is he tarnished his own name. So by them imprisoning him, it really hurts him more if he stays on the street. Not saying it's fair, but we also talking about something like disorderly conduct.
Nah.
That's like
Nah. It's worse than that. He got a class 4 felony, and because he lied to the police and he faked a hate crime. That's a felony, and that should have went federal. That's a federal charge. And then he turned around and sold the noose that he made for himself. He sold it to those brothers, and those brothers ain't know what the hell was going on.
Okay, so he made profit off of his false story, and the fact that he had a hate crime was a felony, correct?
Right, and he put the city of Illinois in terror for 2 months.
Okay, here's the thing about the felony in the state. Even though it's a hate crime, it's not worth the feds picking up. It's the same way when the black race car driver, when they found the news in his garage.
Nah, brother. I gotta disagree with you on that. Because if you can pick up an allegation of sexual assault, which don't turn into nothing except for a misdemeanor statutory rape, if by best. You get a fucking hate crime and you can't take that federal?
Okay, here's the difference in what you're saying.
Nah, bro.
Just for one moment, listen and take the passion that you got out for said situation. You're talking about a sex crime versus disorderly conduct.
Watch this.
In a hate crime, listen to me.
Watch this. Wait, hold up, because I'm listening to what you're saying, right? One is an allegation and one is factual. So I want to hear what you got to say after this.
Okay. Which one are we talking is factual? We talking about
Jussie Smollet is factual.
Okay. That was an alleged hate crime. Okay, yes, that's factual.
A hate crime is federal and lying under oath. It's federal and lying to public officials. That's federal.
Okay, now, also is carrying a handgun. Carrying a handgun is an automatic 5 years in the Fed.
Not true. That's what they get people with, because you are a person. When they deem you as a person, instead of you challenging that, they say, okay, you go ahead and buy under our rules. But if you stand as a man, they will throw that out, because that's your right under the Constitution.
Okay, now, we're talking the right under the Constitution. Okay, so let's break this straight down. Right downtown Baltimore, it's probably a room, a tier, with a series of guys on there who have a handgun charge. The federal law is the handgun in the state of Maryland is an automatic 5 years with the Fed. Would you agree?
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
My question is that the Maryland state law? We're not talking about...
That's not a law. But that's not a law, and that's what I need people to understand in Maryland. That's not a law. That's an amendment. That is nothing more but the legislators coming and saying, okay, and we're going to amend this to the law. You can't say that in Maryland they have a law. They call it a law, but when you challenge it, it's not a law. The problem is people don't understand because they don't read, and they don't comprehend because they don't read, so therefore they don't know how to challenge it. And I'm going to tell you how I know. Because I got pulled over when I had my gun in there. And I got my permit. At that time, I didn't have all of my permits in all of the states. I just had it down south. And they talking about, oh, we got to lock you up. Oh, no. I'm not a person. I'm a man. And the officer called his superior. And when his superior came, I showed my credentials. I told him what the hell was going on. And they said, you know what? We can't touch him because he is a man. He's not a person. And the first thing the officer said was, well, why do he have a driver's license? I said, because at the time, I was commuting from... I was commuting and I was transporting people. That's the difference. When you operate in commerce, you have to have the commerce operation. But you can't pull me over in my private capacity and tell me I'm operating in commerce. No.
that being said, right? Thank you for proving my point. You're also talking about a handgun which can be used in the commission of a murder versus public disorderly conduct.
What?
That's what I'm trying to say to you, yo. The disorderly conduct, even if it's a class 4 felony, which makes no sense, that's probably something under the Chicago law. It's a misdemeanor, yo. It's as if you get drunk out front of a bar. If you piss in public. That's why it means nothing versus a sexual allegation charge, which means a whole lot in this day and age of rape. I.e. even down to date rape. That's why it means so much versus if you go outside and you piss in your neighbor's bushes. That's why I'm saying to you, despite everything that we think about that said situation, which was totally crazy, who fabricates a story up to this magnitude? And he probably did send the overtime budget in Chicago into a whirlwind, especially since he's of the LGBT community. What I'm saying to you is, it means nothing versus sexual allegations. Even if it's an allegation, at some point they're going to spend countless man hours investigating because of the severity of it. And as far as you not being a man, being a commerce, you're right. A lot of folks don't dig into the situation and fight for what they can fight for. But you're one of few. But again, you already had credentials that allowed you to carry a weapon in certain states for whatever the purpose is. But we talk about Joe Blow Public who ain't got no weapon, who ain't got no papers, pardon me, for that Glock 19. By law, by federal law, which is mandated on billboards, or probably posted on billboards, I don't want to say mandated. You're supposed to get 5 years with the Fed. You and I both know. You know dudes who got locked up with the 50s have been home in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the severity of the crime. See, what people don't get about the law is it's written for the embellishment of the lawyer, the judge, and the police officer. FYI, if anybody does a little bit of research, most police officers were excellent in English, or they major in English. And they write the charge papers, well, at one point, they were writing in red ink because the red ink sticks out and makes it seem so much more detrimental as if you were a ministry society. These were little tidbits to the trade that if you don't research or you don't ask, you'll never know. And again, a lot of us don't investigate. We won't stand up for ourselves, or we won't even try to fight something. We just take it. But the Jussie thing, come on, it's crazy because of what he did. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, this is the most publicity his name will get. If he had no more court date, nobody would be looking for Jussie Smollet. If he never was on Empire, folks wasn't looking for Jussie Smollet. Sometimes you got to look at the bigger picture. He's trying to keep his name relevant.
Oh, trust me, I see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture don't have nothing to do. And the bigger picture don't have nothing to do with what's being talked about. It's just a sidebar, side distraction. Miss Shirley said, Dana, what you are talking about is deep. A lot of folks ain't there. A sovereign... No. No, and Miss Shirley, sovereign citizens is something that the government made up, and they are terrorists. You can't be a citizen and sovereign. That's living in public and private. No. You're either an American national or you are some type of national if you wasn't born in America, but you are either an American national or you are a secured party creditor. That sovereign citizen stuff, no. They are terrorists because they people who try to manipulate for their own good. No. But I see what you're saying though, Miss Shirley, but a lot of people think about sovereign citizen, and you can't be sovereign and a citizen. You can't. But that's two different sides of the track. But I have a question. And Malik, and my question is the same thing Faces and Beyond said. How these big officials fight so hard and for Juicy wide booty Smollet, but when that lady lied on Emmett Till, they didn't fight for her to get locked up. They ain't say nothing about her. And when Lori Lightfoot came out talking about her dick bigger than all the Indians, ain't nobody say nothing about her. But if somebody would have slapped that bitch, then what? And excuse my French. But I'm mad, and I'm going there today. And it should be more of us and an outrage.
I'm going to say this. You make a valid point with the Emmett Till thing. Here's what I've learned. I've learned that how you feel, everybody's not going to feel. And how you see something as messed up, some folks don't see it that way.
Facts.
So I've learned to
Facts.
navigate the trail of or interjecting on what I can correct and speaking on what I think is going to be heard.
Facts.
Like, and growing up in B-More, we go through this every day. All day long, the dialogue on TV has been about how the homicide rate is almost double this year what it was last year this time. Contrary to popular belief, we here have a government of politicians who are all homebred and homebrought. So everything here is in-house money. The problem is they don't care about the house no more. They care about the money. Whenever you start doing something for the dollar, you're no longer doing it for the greater good. I tell people all the time, and when I say it, they don't understand. When you go on a job interview, it's 3 people going for that same job. It's only 2 positions. The job you need and the job you want. Which one you going for? What do you mean? I ain't saying it again because you ain't get it the first time. You have a bunch of people out here who get up every day and participate like they're positive citizens into what is going to be a dead-end situation because they doing it out of a need and not a want. Pardon me, out of a want and not a need.
So let me ask you this, Malik. Let me ask you this. Because, see, I'm looking at the chat, and Amal J made a perfect point. She said they locked up an 83-year-old for killing the LGBTQ activist that's one of her own. Cut her up in pieces in New York and then sits on one of the legs riding around with it on her scooter. Okay. And then she come back and say, so Emmett Till killer can go to jail as well, just like that 83-year-old person go to jail. I totally agree. Hey, caller.
Okay.
Because hold on, Malik. And the person that called, I'm not ignoring you. It's one person at a time. So call back once Malik get up.
All right.
Hey, Toy.
I'm gonna bring this in a humorous light. And a comedian, I got this from a comedian today. I get everything y'all saying. But let's look at this one thing right here about this LGBT community. You ready?
Don't give me no Dave Chappelle shit.
No, I'm not.
Because he on my hit list as well.
Every day you wake up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different word that you can't say out your mouth that offends the LGBT community. But for the last 100 years, we still mad about the N-word. In the last 24 hours, there have been 37 words that have been removed from your vocabulary in regards to the LGBT community. And here it is, we still worry about the N-word. When I heard that, I said, shut the front door.
I'm trying to figure out where you going.
That community has banded together to totally create a different series of rules that we as regular people, in the sense of
I agree,
in the L, have to live by.
I agree. No. I don't have to live by.
Listen to me. When I say we, I'm not saying you and me. I don't care about their community. That's them. If you want to pitch it, catch your pitch, I give 0 F. It's not my thing. But what I'm saying is, think about it. You still got folks in their 60s and 70s and 80s who are still offended by the N-word. Listen to me, Dave. Okay. Here is the LGBT community didn't have you take 37 words out your vocabulary. FYI, people, the difference in the average vocabulary and the great vocabulary is 75 to 100 words. So for all of y'all who were illiterate beforehand, so to speak, goddamn, that's 37 words you can't use. You halfway to 75. We got to start worrying about things that really hold value. And I'm not saying that the situations that you're speaking don't hold value. But in the grand scheme of things, he fabricated the story. Fuck his own stuff.
It's not about the story.
Well, okay.
It's about the injustice that's done for one man, and the injustice, and it's about the injustice that was done to one man and the not justice that's done for the faggy man.
Okay, now watch this. If we take that same energy and start supporting some of these people who are wrongfully committed, who are unjustifiably done certain things, we'll make out a lot better. Because you know, there's a lot of folks out there who really didn't do what they said they did. So we worried about the dude who sabotaged his own career.
See, Malik, y'all still looking at the career. I don't give a shit about the career.
Listen.
I'm in the same field that he's in. I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit about is that you take Robert Kelly and you make him sit in jail until he go to court. But you have Jussie Smollet, who have all these gay supporting people behind him. And I'm talking about public officials. I ain't talking about the small fries that's in our community. I'm talking about the public officials that put pressure on these judges just so the laws can be bent for their own kind. That shit ain't cool. Because, see, that'll make a nigga like me fuck around and slap one of these motherfuckers in broad daylight.
Well,
that's the anger I'm talking about. When will people wake up and get the anger and that goddamn Fred Hampton had? When will people wake up and stop going along with this get along, go along bullshit?
Okay. So since you brought up Robert Kelly, let me say this to you. And by no means do I want to be misquoted on this. So I want everybody to listen up. Every day he woke up and he did whatever he did or whatever he did that they say he didn't do. For every day he woke up and he did what he did, he has to face that person in the mirror and accept the consequence that comes down the pipe or is not going to come down the pipe.
So if he said he didn't do it, then what?
Until he's proven or he proves otherwise, he has to go through a system.
Okay, so Okay, so what makes him different than a Jussie Smollett?
No, I'm not speaking on Jussie Smollett.
No, that's the problem. Nobody want to speak on these people. Let's not, bro.
Ask me for my opinion. I'm giving it to you. Because if R. Kelly wakes up one morning and don't go around that group of girls, guess what you can't accuse me of? Going around that group of girls.
But he wasn't around that group of girls. Next, let's keep it going.
I'm not saying he was or he wasn't. I'm not the judge or the jury. I want you to think and be realistically about it. Like I said to you before, everybody is hung on what he's saying he didn't do. Fuck what he didn't do. What did he do? And is he willing to pay a consequence for that?
Okay, watch this. But I'm glad you. I'm glad you said that.
You gotta look at, yo.
I'm glad you said that.
Whenever he got up in the morning,
I'm glad you said that.
He didn't order
Yo, listen.
Whatever the fuck he did.
Yo, listen. I'm glad you fucking said that. I'm glad you fucking said that because now I can fucking go here. It's not about what he said he didn't do. It's not about what they said he did do. It's about what they could prove. And in court, they didn't prove a goddamn thing.
Oh, then he should be, for that case, he should be let go.
Thank you. That's what everybody's supposed to be in the outrage about.
Now, also, at the same time and token, let's be clear, my nigga, the shit that they said the same shit before.
And he was exonerated.
Now watch this, Dana.
Yeah.
Since we going there.
And you know, I take you all the way through that fucking rabbit hole.
Any female in the chat, I'm going to apologize for what I'm going to say right now. And don't take it offensive, it's not. But a man just don't wake up and start beating girls up. He's been doing that.
When did he beat somebody up, Malik?
I'm not saying him, Dana.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
That a man who wakes up and the woman says, oh, this is the first time he put hands on you. He's been putting his hands on women.
Facts.
A dude that's allegedly accused of sexual misconduct ain't the first time. He ain't worked up with an epiphany and, I will go out here and get me some underage cat. He's done it before.
Okay, watch this. Hold on. Two different situations. You just said a guy that's been accused of sexual misconduct. You ain't proving shit. You accusing shit. That's the difference.
And what I just said.
And you ain't proving shit. You accusing shit. Jussie was proven. He lied under oath and he created terror in the community. Yo, there's no way nobody can get me to look at this differently. I'm looking at it from what it is.
You're right about Jussie. And here's also what we can say. Evidently, he's been found guilty of something, because R. Kelly definitely ain't free.
Well, guess what? R. Kelly definitely don't got the LGBT community behind him neither. R. Kelly definitely don't got the fucking acting president and the acting incompetent vice president either. R. Kelly definitely don't got Lori Lightfoot, my dick bigger than yours, ugly ass, supporting him neither.
Well, let's make some noise for R. Kelly not having a bunch of imbeciles around him. Because clearly, he had a bunch of motherfuckers who was slow.
Well, I can agree with that.
So, again, what I'm saying to you is, Jussie shit, Rob shit, yeah. If you want to say, put the energy into that. Like I said to you, and I always say, well, I wasn't there. No, I wouldn't even want to be a juror on a situation like that. You got me thinking too motherfucking long and hard about saying situations, too many scenarios.
It's not a thinking situation. Here's the thing. If you see jurors that's competent, right? If you see competence, but that's, if you see, matter of fact, if you see competent, if you see jurors, but that's competent, I guarantee you that, but that whole jury, for that whole verdict would have came out different and concerning R. Kelly. Now, Susie Q said, let's be clear, Chicago didn't free him. The politician free him and the machine. Susie Q.
We talking about
Hold up.
Right.
Susie Q, I agree with you. But watch this. If the politicians are in Chicago, they represent Chicago. So that means what? Chicago freedom. Make that make sense.
Okay, then. So we talking about Jussie Smollet, right?
No, Susie Q said, let's be clear, and Chicago didn't free him. The politicians freed him and the machine. And I totally agree with her. She is 1,000% right.
But we're talking about Jussie Smollet, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna say this, and we probably go back. Well, I know we can go on and on, speaking on positive energy that you can put into a negative situation. I just want it to always be thought about from the aspect of what was really done. And here's what I think a lot of supporters need to do, especially of Robert Kelly. It's a guy on Instagram named Wallow367.
Speak.
Wallow had say again?
I said speak. Oh, I'm listening to this one.
Wallow had a segment called Tear Talk. In Tear Talk, he gets emotional because...
Hold on. Wait a minute for a second. Let me pause you for a second. Susie Q, you said, well, Baltimore put R. Kelly in jail because that girl was from Baltimore. I will say this, Susie Q. That girl was not in the trial. And you talking about Reds? No, the Phantom dark-skinned chick who I never seen before. But Reds was not in the trial. Reds was not in the verdict. Reds wasn't caught up there and for anything. All of us knew that she was lying. That's why she had one of my pages struck. One of my Facebook pages struck. She had one of my Facebook pages taken down. She said, I'm messing up her bag. But like I say, I have a long, deep history with her. And my thing is, if I know you're a liar and I know you lying, I'm going to defend the person you lying against. I don't care. It goes against my principles. So you can't say the girl from Baltimore did it. No. Oh, no. She was nowhere to be found when it came to going to New York. You feel me? But if you look up in New York, you look at that goddamn chart. I will say you had one whose parents is from Baltimore, and I don't know if Ash not even from Baltimore. Ash from Virginia. She was born in Virginia. And they moved to Florida. So you can't even say she from Baltimore. But Angelo and Alice is definitely from Baltimore. But Az is from Virginia. So Susie Q, I gotta say, I see where you was going with it, but I gotta put the truth out there. And then I can tell you the reason why Red said, oh, R. Kelly touched me too. That had something to do with our former mayor. Because our former mayor and Gloria Allred, and they were smuggling money in through the colleges through these kid books. That's why that popped up. And I think I was the first one to break that story too. Go ahead, Malik.
He had what's called the segment called Tear Talk.
Mm-hmm.
In the segment, he breaks down emotionally because he did something that a lot of us don't do. He forgave the killer of his brother. His brother was maliciously murdered at the little bodega getting some groceries for his grandmother. His brother made it back to the house and died in Nanyang.
Mm-hmm.
So what he said was, he said, I had to forgive him because if I didn't forgive him, revenge would have set in. He said, now once revenge sets in, here's the part that we really don't understand. Now we all in for broke, and it's not going to never stop. It's always going to continue. He said, I had to break the cycle because I had to be mindful that I got to be here for my niece. I got to be here for my mom, our grandma. I got to be here for Gil's kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now the cycle has been broken. He took it upon himself to break a cycle of ill thoughts and malicious destruction because of his own personal tragedy. And he was able to move on and better himself.
So
he let that old heavyweight baggage go.
I'm lost. So what I got to do with what he's talking about?
Sometimes you got to let shit that don't mean nothing to you no more go in order to get what means to you approved.
Well, I'm going to say this. Anything that don't mean nothing to me, I don't talk about it.
Not speaking on you per se.
But I'm just saying, I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about nobody else because I don't, I can't control what nobody else do. I'm talking about my feelings and the way how I think that everybody that's seen this injustice go down should feel. I think everybody of color should have took to the streets and went bananas today. Knowing that a Black Lives Matter lady who swindled half of America and bought homes with the funds that was given to her can be an influence on a appellate judge. For me, that appellate judge he needed to lose his seat. That's where I'm going and with this. We are at a place now where we can no longer tolerate bullshit. And we have an incompetent actor as a president. And we have a fucking incompetent vice president who but that's all she do is laugh on a world stage. And we have people that's trying to change laws and destroying stuff. And check this out. I told everybody already. What do Indianapolis, Indiana, Walmart have to do with all the Walmarts around the world? Nobody have yet to answer that. Well, check this out. That's the main headquarters for the United States. And guess what? They burnt that today.
No, run the question back.
I said, what do the Walmart distribution center in Indianapolis, Indiana have to do with all the other Walmarts around the United States?
That's the headquarters.
Well, it's no more headquarters. They burnt that bitch today. Why? Because they understand that government is cracking down and that real people, the real government, is coming in and they checking stuff. So if it's nothing to check, then how can you be held and responsible? Walmart had concentration camps in Ukraine. That's where it started at. That's the breeding ground and for all of the distrust. So if you don't have nothing to show, how can you be held and responsible? Right, Queen B, and that sets up for the FEMA camps that starts next year. That's why they go into robots in the store. So that way, if anybody want to run in there and act crazy, they can program the robots to break your ass in half.
You know, China's been doing that for the last 3 years. The robot thing?
Right.
China's been doing it for the last 3 years. In China, it has cut down on crime. It has cut back on destruction.
Really?
Hold on.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you need to go revisit China again. They on a countrywide shutdown right now. They have killed, China have killed over 350,000 people last week alone.
Okay.
What you mean?
I'm gonna go back and research it.
Yeah.
I was just watching it last night because it premiered a hotel. In this hotel, nobody's a real person.
Okay.
They have a section. Like I said, it's a whole hotel. They got 300 rooms. Everything is robotic. They have a few department stores, grocery stores. It's like a lot of things they have in China. I may have the wrong pattern, but I'll research it again, and it has cut back on that crime. That's why when you said the thing about the robot, it popped right in my head.
You're missing the whole point. And the whole point of it is the robots are a camouflage because of the organ harvesting. If you walk into a store and see robots, you ain't going to think nothing about humans. But if humans are being harvested in that store, then what? And you would never check because you never see humans working there.
Okay. Here's my take on the Ukraine. You ready?
Go ahead.
The U.S. got issues. We got issues of our own. We shouldn't be worrying about what's going on in the Ukraine.
You crazy. That's where you're wrong at. And because don't you get taxes taken out of your check and stuff?
Say the last one again.
Don't you get taxes taken out of your check and stuff?
Okay, keep going.
Okay. And you get taxes taken out of your check. And you get taxes out of everything you do. And all of your tax money is over in Ukraine. Why? Because Hunter Biden gets paid $40 million every quarter. Oh, Joe Biden just had a whole town that was just destroyed by Putin. All of y'all tax money is going into the biolabs. That's why they don't want y'all to hear about the biolabs. But if you join me over on Rumble, you'll hear it all. You'll see it all.
I'm still spending money from 88. It's under my mattress. So I pretty much don't pay no taxes.
Watch this.
I understand where you're going.
Watch this.
Give me the link when you be on Rumble. Hold.
Okay.
Give me the link when you're on Rumble.
Okay.
I'm going to catch you over there.
Okay.
But now, I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Oh, right. Hey, caller, you can call back, Miss Caller. Or the person that called, or you can call back. And once again, this is not an attack on the LGBT community. I'm just pissed that everybody can't be treated as equal. One got to be treated one way. One person got to be treated like... No, why can't we all be treated the same? I don't care about your sexual preference. But don't treat me different because I'm straight and you gay. You feel me? Because if somebody was to really try to knock your head off and you right there and you my dog, I'm not letting nothing happen to you. But they're going to have to knock my head off too. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Queen B, you're right. The assassination of the person's true identity to be replaced with the straw man. You're right. The problem is nobody want to face the facts. Everybody run from, oh, that's the LGBTQ. No, embrace that shit. And if somebody stand up to them and let them know, look, y'all wrong. We ain't being disrespectful, but y'all wrong for this shit. We don't want to see this. We don't want our kids seeing this. But y'all trying to force that shit on us. So how can we come to a medium? Because I'm quite sure if we start walking out, pulling out our dicks and having sex with women in front of them, are they, oh my God, how you think we feel? When I mean they are doing over the top. You mean to tell me my daughter, my 14-year-old, my 12-year-old, gotta go in the bathroom with a dude dressed as a woman? Man, I will beat the fuck out of him. Not at all. That's why I think Disney should be destroyed. And I think what Florida's doing to Disney, perfect. Perfect. Don't take no more of that blood spilled money or funds and push them out of Florida. The problem is too many say they want change. But ain't nobody really trying to have change, man. Ain't nobody trying to have change. Because when you have change, you be uncertain about some things. But everybody's so focused on what they used to and what the norm is. Fuck the norm and go to what's right. My problem is, where all these pastors at that say holiness is right? If holiness is right, why y'all ain't speaking out about this shit? If holiness is right, why not speak about it? I love what Governor DeSantis is doing. He is single-handedly forcing Disney to shut down and leave Florida. But they love him in California. Oh, sure. Keep playing your Disney stuff. The only good Disney movie that I like was The Lion King. You tell me another movie that came out of Disney that was worth watching but that didn't have a gay agenda. I'll wait. Hold on. Lisa said, so anyone that has at least once had a sexual encounter with the same sex can holler LGBTQ if needed. That's crazy. I don't agree with that, though. Because what if you was raped by somebody? I don't agree with that. Well, Cooper, please go back and look at it because they just flooded Disney. They flooded Disney and it destroyed almost all of the rides. They flooded Disney. I believe it was last week sometimes. Texas investigation of 9 families with transgender children. A bridge too far. Wow. I'm just saying. Man, we got to wake up. Because they trying to go to the one world totalitarian. For the one world situation. That one world order, they're going to force you to do certain things, man. So let's get off that, man. Because I don't want to anger certain people, but I got to speak what I feel and I got to speak the truth. And if people get mad at me, then hey, you just get mad. But I'm going to speak the truth. So, in R. Kelly news today, and Donnelly. Oh, and call in at 678-545-2955 if y'all want to talk about what's been going on or what I have reported today. But in today's news, R. Kelly news, Cesar de Castro wrote this letter to Ann Donnelly. And it says, Dear Judge Donnelly, I write to request with the government and pretrial services consent that the county modify Mr. Richard R. Line Jr.'s bail conditions to permit his travel to Jacksonville, Florida from April the 14th, 2022 to April the 18th, 2022. If granted permission, Mr. R. Line Jr. intends to travel via air to Jacksonville, Florida on April the 14th, 2022, returning to Chicago on April the 18th, 2022. He will be staying at a hotel. The details of the trip, including the flight information and location of the hotel, will be provided to pretrial services. As noted above, pretrial services consents to this request provided Mr. Richard R. Line Jr. submits and receives a clean drug test. To date, Mr. R. Line Jr. has not tested positive for any drugs while on pretrial supervision. Accordingly, I respectfully request that Mr. R. Line Jr. be granted permission to travel to and from Jacksonville, Florida on the above date. Respectfully, Cesar de Castro. Well, from what I heard, Ann Donnelly honored that and gave him special privileges. Well, Ann Donnelly, my mentor, my father figure, like, requests to go to the studio from March the 20th, no, from March the 17th through April the 20th. He need to record some music. Can you honor his request? How the fuck you gonna be getting ready to go and do time? You under house arrest, but the government is allowing you to do any and everything you want to do. Why this man, once again, is violated and sits in jail. I'm not understanding. Where's the true justice for Robert Sylvester Kelly at? I'm just like, an informant gets permission to travel? I know that. I told y'all that. So can I ask you a question? If we all know that Richard R. Line's informant, why y'all don't think Don is informant? Because he had to get permission to do things too. That's why I say I can't take none of these people that be on YouTube serious. None of these people that talk about free R. Kelly. You know what? I'm thinking about putting my old band back together. I'm thinking about putting the band back together along with the new band. And then we go and shut Chicago down. That's what I'm thinking about. It should be thousands of people lined up in front of Kim Fox's office to the point where she can't come out the front, the side, or the back door. Or none of her workers either. They shouldn't be able to leave out that building without police escorting them through the crowd and people showing a disbelief in those folks. Lisa Stanton stupid. Richard Harline going to the Lord Dirt concert. I'm just saying, man. Like, when are we as a people gonna wake up? I haven't seen nobody in Chicago talking about going to the just man. I ain't seen nobody say they went to the Jussie Smollet trial. Even if you lied, why wasn't you down there every day? I get it. The first thing they gonna say is, "Oh, I don't know Jussie Smollett like that. You don't know R. Kelly like that neither." I'll be the first one to say it. I ain't sparing nobody fucking feelings. Fuck you and your feelings. You don't know R. Kelly like that, but you was at the trial. I'm just saying, man. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. As messed up, let me see. God forbid, but if Drew Hill ever got caught in a situation like that, they wouldn't be able to play with them like that. The whole Baltimore, whether they like Drew Hill or not, and would show up just on the principle of Drew Hill is part of us. This nigga stupid. I hosted a happy hour for Jussie Psycho. This nigga stupid. I'm just saying, man. You can't convince me that Chicago loves R. Kelly. Do I believe there's pockets of people in Chicago that love R. Kelly? Yes, I do. And I stand on that. I will go on any radio station and say that. It's pockets of people that love R. Kelly. But for every 5 people that love R. Kelly, it's 20 people that hate him in Chicago. And they always say, anybody that make it got to leave their hometown. Why? Because people going to hate on them. People going to hate on them. Why should you have to leave your hometown to make it? Rob had to leave and then came back and then put Chicago on the map. But if you let people tell it, Michael Jordan was the one that did it. I'm just saying, this is my guy through and through, love him to death. I will always hold this guy down. Check it out.
What's up, bro? I'm a guy.
If you got a sweet tooth and you want something real sweet that's going to catch you and it's not ice cream, go to Walmart. Pick up some JD's Vegan. I'm just saying, get your strawberry sweetheart, chocolate my way, welcome to Atlanta peach cobbler, key lime pie, full cookies and cream, and that apple butter. I'm just trying to tell you. And for all of y'all that say, we don't got it in our Walmart, hey, JD, inform them real quick.
Yo, what's up? Public service announcement. Listen, this message is for everyone out there that keep hitting me saying, JD, I can't find JD's Vegan in my area, blah, 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 blah. It's not just for y'all, but it's going to fix that. This message is big for me and the brand. So in like the next 2-3 weeks, probably 3 weeks, JD's Vegan is going into 3,300 more Walmarts. That means that every place that y'all saying you can't find it, we got you. All right. Just really quick, I just wanted to say this. I probably shouldn't be telling y'all, but 3,300 Walmarts.
And created by us, then come on over to WeGotUps.com. www.WeGotUps.com.
Yeah, what's up? This your homeboy
Damn,
Ice
Cube.
Cube. You know what it is, the West Coast Warlord, the Grand Wizard. Don Mega is in the house. Now check this out. I'm inviting you to join the official Black People Social Network. WeGotUps.com. That's WeGotUps.com. 100% black owned, man. I see you, Hill Boys. I see you. You out there doing it, man. And as we say in the Big 3 League, we got ups, baby. So WeGotUps.com. Check it out, man. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, black people, we definitely need to socialize, get together, figure out this system we all going through. So, you know, WeGotUps.com promises to be that place. Like I said, black owned. Gotta love it. And, you know, willing to make sure that you guys make a social connection. So WeGotUps.com, you know, from your homeboy Ice Cube. Got to throw up the dub, you know, for that. You know what I'm saying? And hey man, official Black People Social Network. You know, I get it right. Don't worry about nothing. Just join, man. Join the official Black People Social Network. WeGotUps.com. WeGotUps.com, man. That's easy, man. We got ups, baby. We got ups. Your homeboy Ice Cube, and I'm out. Throwing up the dub for We Got Ups, man. Check it out.
Well, Dad Cube, next time, don't be so rude. But when you come over, turn that blue gray when you look up official DanaJay. I'm out for the night. See y'all tomorrow. Good night.
Who am I? I am King. Build the fire, panning into the fire. The breath of battle has appeared, and I am. All rise and bask in His glory.
Swimming in you. Hey, little mama said I wanna take her. Dipping your pool. Just go for a little dive there. Hey, yeah.
Wow.